Welcome back to Jason's Pen Journey. Today we've got another pen review. This one is going to be for a 3D printed pen. It's made by Samai Pens out of Italy. It's a one-person shop. Luca is the gentleman's name. I actually acquired this pen way back in August at the San Francisco Pen Show 2025. So it's taken me a while to get to this one. It's been sitting in my pen tray for a long time. Let me show you the pen and tell you how it feels, and tell you a little bit more about that experience. I don't have a ton of information about the pen or the maker, to be honest. I met Luca at the San Francisco Pen Show briefly. His English was not great. My Italian is even worse, so we didn't have much of a conversation. And his website is it's a little sparse in terms of details, so I can't give you a lot of background about the maker. But everything he does is 3D printed using, from what I understand, nylon 12. It's pretty interesting. It's a really light pen. Obviously, I can't show you how heavy it is. You'll take my word for it, but it's a much lighter pen. There's not a lot in here besides the nylon, the converter, and the nib. Um, when I bought it, so it's this is actually according to the website, it's the Lorem Ipsum Fluted model. He doesn't make that many different models, but this one was one of the ones he had available at the time. It came without a nib or a feed or a converter, so it was just the body. It's a triple threaded triple start cap. So let's see, that is maybe half a turn to get it uncapped. Um, so really quick to uncap. It doesn't securely post. I mean, you can get it in there, but I wouldn't want to write with that. This pen is so light. It does fit a Bock #8 nib. So one of the things I had to do when I bought it at the pen show at the time was scramble to find a Bock #8 nib and feed. So I was able to find one of those. Thank you to Pen Realm, who had one left and was able to hold on to that for me. So I did get that at the time. And again, it took forever for me to get around to inking this up. I also had to add the converter in as well, standard Schmidt converter. So there's not much to this pen in terms of characteristics to tell you about because it's really pretty bare bones. You can see the Semi logo on the finial. Um, Nothing on the end cap. No clip, no roll stop, no adornments, nothing else on it other than just pure nylon 12. So 3D printed, and that's about it. The grip itself, nice and large, really gentle threadings, so no problem with where my fingers sit on the pen. Um, it's so lightweight that I don't have to worry about balance because there's nothing to balance. It is super lightweight. I mean, this might as well be, um, a Bic pen in terms of the weight, but it is pretty big. Let me show you size comparison with this with some other standard pens. Bring in my Alfie tray with pens I'm kind of using these days for comparisons. So we have a Lamy Safari, Pilot. Sorry, I keep saying it's a Pilot. It's a Sailor 1911 large. It's a TWSBI Echo, Pilot Custom 823, and the Samai Pens Lorem Ipsum Fluted. So it is a little bit larger and lengthwise than the Pilot 823, I think. Is that right? It's hard to tell. No, maybe the Pilot is slightly longer when it's capped. So, but it's obviously thicker than the others, but it's going to be lighter. So if I compare weight to the Safari, which is probably the lightest, maybe to the no, the Sailor is definitely much heavier. So the Pilot, sorry, the Lamy Safari is probably the lightest other one here with the plastic body, and it is. I think the Lamy's heavier. I should probably get out a little scale and test it, but I think the Lamy Safari with the plastic is actually a heavier pen than the Samai. So just to give you an idea of how of how heavy or how not heavy it is. It's definitely the lightest pen there. Let me uncap them so you can see the size difference there. Okay, so now uncapped, obviously it's now it's going to be much larger than any of the pens, including the 823. Um, but now let's take a look if I compare the weight. So now that we don't have the cap on, the clip from the Lamy Safari with the metal clip was actually adding some of the weight. Now we've got a pretty comparable size. So the plastic Lamy Safari and the Samai Pens nylon 12 3D printed are pretty comparable in size. Obviously, much larger nib too. And this one has a cartridge in it. This one is converter, so comparable in weight. I really should get out a scale and try to compare them, but I'm too lazy for that. So sorry. Um, so that's the size comparison. Okay, taking a look at the writing sample for the Samai Pens Lorem Ipsum. I can't get that right. Lorem Ipsum Fluted. I originally had written down it was the ruthenium model, but when I was re-looking at the website, I realized the ruthenium was referring to the nib, which since this was sold without a nib, it couldn't be the ruthenium nib. It does. I did put a fine nib in it. It's a number 8 nib. The ink that I chose, despite the fact that being a solid black pen, I chose something a little more colorful. The Anderillium Spirula Green, new ink for me. I really enjoy the Anderillium inks, so I had did not have that one from the Cephalopod collection in my collection. So just recently got that ink. Wanted to put something a little more splash of color in it than in the semi pen than just basic black, because I thought that would be a nice contrast. The nib itself was really smooth, wrote perfectly, nice and juicy, especially with a nice wet ink like that. Um, Take a quick look at it. So a little bit of give in the pen. It's not a flex nib or anything. Um, but I really like that bright green from the Spirula Green ink. So there you go. That's the Semi Pens Lorem Ipsum Fluted 3D printed pen. So thank you to Luca from Semi Pens for selling me the pen back at the pen show. Really looking forward to using this over the next few weeks as part of my rotation. Um, Again, it's just it's so light. So like I'm holding it. It's like I'm barely holding anything. It's not one it's gonna be too easy to fidget with because it's so light. That's probably gonna get me in trouble, and I'm probably gonna get ink all splattered all over this myself if I am not careful. Um, but it's it's a nice change of pace. Having something that's 3D printed, so lightweight, unadorned, not anything that looks fancy, but it looks different than everything else because of how it was made. So looking forward to playing with it, looking forward to using it. And if you have any questions about the pen, about the ink, about anything. If you want to learn more about my experience at the San Francisco Pen Show, I had a 4-part series back in September from the August show. So look back on the channel to the earlier days of the channel. You'll find those to find the entire haul. It took me a while to get around to this pen, and now I'm glad I'm finally getting around to it. So again, Samai Pens from Italy, Anderillium inks, awesome inks. So give the video a like, give the channel a subscribe, ask any questions, give me any comments, any feedback in the comment section. And until I see you next time, keep on writing.